This is the weekly weather with Maxina and April, where no matter the forecast, it's always sunshine and snow.
Hello, my friend.
You have a guest tonight.
So,
I was
Maxina,
invited.
I wanted to take a moment and start our show tonight with a little time for you and Royal to celebrate your mom.
Oh, well, my goodness. You're just so thoughtful. I'm gonna cry. I was already crying because I was choking on my water, but now I'm choked up. Well, how are you doing, Jelly Bean?
Good. I'm doing good. How are you?
Living the married life? Good.
Yes. No, it's been very good.
Good.
It's the reason why I can be here tonight. Actually.
Good on you, man. Good on you. That is great. So before I posted, did you realize that it was the 10-year anniversary of mom's death?
Well, I always lose track of the number of years, but I mean, it always feels like it goes by so fast anyway, but I knew it was coming up. I always think I thought it was another year before it was 10 years because I thought it was 2017. I always forget that it was 16. I don't know why my brain does that. I want it to be 17 apparently.
So badly. You just wanted that extra year. Yeah. That's how I am with Laura with our stepmom's death. I always want it to be like 2020, but she lived through the COVID thing and all of that. You know what I mean? So I always want to put her in a different year. So that's the one that mixes me up. And of course, Dad is seared into my brain, but no, I don't know why. Well, I think part of the reason why I remember Mom so clearly is because that was the year I quit my job and I went up to see her. And it wasn't until 2017 after all of that I actually started my business. So
Okay.
that's one of the reasons that I keep up with it, or that it's easy for me to keep up with, because it's like in tandem with basically when my whole life turned upside down. Right before she died, that was my coming to Jesus year. So
Well, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. With Dad, I know I was pregnant, so that's a big reason. I was pregnant with Elizabeth. So I think that's a big reason why for all of us it was like, wow.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Just going through the repertoire of death, the Rolodex of dates of sorrow and mourning.
I mean, we have to remember it how we remember it. So
yeah, it's important too, I think.
Well,
And
I was just going to say, I think as long as you remember the person, dates are less important. I mean, if you really think about it, as the time goes on, the years pass so quickly and, and next thing you know, it's been 5 years. And you're just like, yeah, okay, but I don't know. Dates are really hard to remember, but just remembering the person and the memory, I think, is really the highlight of, the memories.
Of what's what, yeah. I think until like for Dad's, for some reason, I didn't really mark the years like that, or like I was always conscious of like, oh, September, especially because it was around my birthday too. So it's really easy for me to remember like, oh, but I for some reason with Mom's, I felt like I needed to honor the date or something, because her death just, it grieved me very differently than Dad's. It's like with Dad's, we had a bunch of support and everybody remembers. Everybody has good memory. But with Mom, it was like there was so little
It was a
honor
lot different
in her death.
Yeah.
It was very different. So I never want to forgive her, or not forgive her. I never want to forget her. I had a hard time forgiving her, but I
I'm
never
like,
want
wait
to
a second.
We're like, I don't think that means what you think it means. But no, I feel like being able to honor her in that way sort of makes up for, um, how little she was commemorated at her death. Dad was like, we had the party, we did the thing, and mom too. It was like there was hundreds of people at her funeral. It was like there's so much memory there.
Yeah.
But with moms, I can sort of honor her differently in that. So
Yeah. Well,
my
and
goodness.
my favorite way to honor mom is like through like my kitchen. Like when I'm in my kitchen, that's when I think of mom the most, honestly, because because she loved to cook, because she was really good at it, and she was like a homegirl cook. Like she was country girl. She southern, true, like the girl could cook, so. And I just remember as a kid, a lot of her kitchen recipes being like comfort foods for me, because I don't know, it felt good when she cooked, because I just felt she was more herself at those times. And so for me, it was like that was the comfort. So as I got older and I was learning to cook myself and learning on, I had her teach me certain recipes so that way I could still have my comfort foods even once like I thought about, like you're not going to be here and I'm going to want to know how to cook these things. So when I am putting
She made
together,
your food.
that's the thing though, but when I'm in the kitchen, I feel her there, like her presence is with me, like I can hear her telling me how to make the chicken and dumplings, like how she does it, and I can hear her telling me what temperature to turn the oven on when I'm doing the roast, and whatever, just like different things like that. And so yeah, I feel her when I'm in the
That's
kitchen.
awesome.
That's when I honor her the most, I think, which is a lot. I'm in there a lot, so.
Yeah, and you're a great cook, and I guess I missed out on that part of her. So I think it would be great if, like, you wrote down some of those recipes and pass on that education. Like we need those little pieces of mom. Maybe we'll do a book. We'll publish a little book.
And my
recipes
girl,
recipes from our favorite
yes, yes,
I
that's a
love
good
that.
idea. Well, and my girls have said the same thing. They're like, "Mama, you need to put your things in a book so we'll know how to cook." I'm like, "Yeah, okay." So that's probably not a bad idea. But
Yeah.
I have pictures. I have
Yes.
pictures
We'll
of
call it
mom.
mom cooking. You have pictures of her cooking? Oh, are you showing your pictures?
Pictures.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Oh my gosh, you've got some pictures.
yeah. Look at her there.
Okay.
I don't know how well it's focusing,
My
but
gosh.
I found like quite a few.
It's not.
So I was just like, yeah, okay. Here's a good handful. But look at her. Here she is in the kitchen cooking. See, no lies told. Here she is.
Yeah,
There in her
that's
little
one of my
flannel.
favorite pictures.
It is mine too. And she has her hair pulled back like that. It's probably French braided. It looks like it's French braided. That was her favorite way to do it. So, but that was her. That was her
Yeah.
style. That was how she was. And oh my goodness. And then her and Granny Paulette doing hair together. There's Granny Paulette's head and her. They always did hair together
Oh,
anytime they got
looky there.
together. Look
Oh,
at
I did not know you have pictures of Granny Paulette. I ain't got nothing. I don't have anything of any, like that's awesome.
them.
That
Those are
is
mine.
great. Yes. I know. You snagged him. You snagged him. That is great.
Look, here's another of them doing hair. Look how thrilled Granny looks. Have her picture taken at that
Oh
moment.
my
She's so
God.
happy.
Yeah, yeah, she looks thrilled.
And there's Mom,
That is
getting it all ready.
hilarious.
And then I
Curly
found
hair.
this newspaper clipping where Mama was hired at an office job and it talked about it, and I got it, I don't know how I think it was in Mom's things, and she gave me her memory things. So she was just like, here, take these things. And so I have these things, and it says, a new face, Tina Marie of Hilliard is a new full-time secretary for West Nassau Chamber of Commerce. I mean, that's pretty cool, So Chamber hires
Chamber of Commerce.
She was in the newspaper. That's pretty cool for being hired on. So I thought that was cool, and thought we should share that. But yeah, so that's neat. Yeah. But
not bad for someone who didn't finish high school.
So Royal, later on, if you can take pictures of those and send them to me so that I can actually put them, I'll make them clear and focus.
I would love to see that. Yeah. Send them to me that way too.
And here she is picking
So April, cool thing about.
Sorry.
That makes sense. Yes, I love that one. I love that one. Now, April, those were always taken, like we would go and visit her for a couple of weeks at a time. Camping was a big thing that she loved to do. So we'd go camp, and she was a country. And that's the cookbook, Country Mama's Cooking. And I've already named it. I'm gonna see another one. Oh, yeah. See, you see us camping out there. That is, yep. I remember that one. I remember that bathing suit too. That was such a great. That was one of my favorites. And she had. Now there was. Oh, yep. That's awesome. Now, April, cool thing about our grandmother, our mom's mom, Granny Paulette, the pictures in there. She was like one of the first female outdoor clothing apparel designers in the United States. Like she was a very outdoorsy woman. Her and her husband went from flea market to flea market in Florida making fishing lures. They'd just make them right there and sell them, and that's how they made a living. They stayed out in like the Notasassa, and then would just travel all over, and they loved the outdoors and beer and cooking. That was the legacy.
Yeah.
Oh man,
sounds about right. Here she is on the phone talking to us.
Oh my gosh. Look at that hippie.
I mean, isn't she though? I mean, look at her. She just was like the coolest thing, Here's all three of us together.
Yes. Oh my God.
Remember that at the lighthouse?
I don't remember where we were, but I remember the picture.
We went to a lighthouse, and I remember that trip because I was terrified because I don't like stairs. So
that sounds right. Sounds like Royal. That is so funny.
Yeah.
And now you know, April, where we come from. Scary stairs, yes.
Scary stairs, yes.
I didn't know if April knew where the name Marie came from. Oh, we lost her.
If I knew what?
Oh no.
We're still recording it. I know. We're in her studio, but she ain't in ours. I know. Y'all don't love me. I want to text her, see what happened to her.
Okay.
But no, I'm really this was so great. Going down memory lane. This was so good. When did she contact you just today and say, hey, you need to come on to the show?
Well, she had texted me one day. She's like, hey, run into me at church. I want to talk to you about the podcast. And I was like, all right. And then she heard that I was getting married. And she was like, so I might not see you at church. Of course, we did go to church. But she was like, so here's what I'm thinking. And so she told me, and I was like, yeah, I'm totally down. So I, was able to gather up some pictures, and then told her that I could, jump on and be part of the, mom's honor or whatever to do this for a while. So I thought it was such a good idea,
Well, that was so, I'm so blown away. Such a surprise. That is so awesome.
I know you're like, hey!
I wasn't expecting that. Look at you, married woman, hopping on here. You're on a honeymoon, aren't you?
We're trying to pretend like we kind of are.
All right, so you were telling me about camping, and then you showed the picture, and Grandma outdoorsy clothes, and doing the flea markets, and then and that's when your face is all froze.
The powers that be would not let the conversation be. Well, and one of the things that I wanted to ask was if you realized, April, and I don't know if I had told you before, my author name, Marie, if you realize that was where it came from, my mother's maiden name. So
I didn't.
Yeah,
that's neat.
So I bought the name. I bought into it. I own the name. I don't have the name. I get to own it.
I like it. I like it.
That was such a great trip down memory lane, though. Royal was often the surrogate mother because our parents were not, they weren't clean when we were little bitty. And so Royal was the one who was like, I have memories of like you cooking for me and you taking care of me. And that's a lot of my memories until like later when my memories were a little clearer and, everything sort of like settled down. But there are little snippets of things about my mom that I remember that were just like, she was funny. She was cool. She was the kind of person that people would just like tell their whole life story to on the street. Like they wouldn't even know her and they'd be like telling her everything. Like I guess she just had one of those faces. But she was a hippie girl.
Yeah, she was. She liked to be outside in the dirt.
Yeah. Grew up in this very house on this very land.
Yeah. Yep. Here's another picture of her camping.
How wild. Oh, I want to see it. Yeah. Is she raising glass or just raising her hand?
I think she just raised her hand like, woo! Because she's camping.
Yeah.
She's she has a drink in her hand. She's like, yeah. That was usually her attitude. Yeah. I remember her doing that a few times. Here's one of all three of us or whatever when we went camping one time, and we went to the springs. We went camping, and Max and I were just delighted to go. We were delighted to be there.
Yeah, we were very good outdoorsy girls. We were raised in the suburbs.
I minded it less than Max, but yeah, I still was like, man. Us in our circle.
Oh my god.
Forced to take a picture. Because we were forced to take a picture.
Forced.
I was forced. I don't know about you, but I remember being like, right, and I was like, no. Average teenager.
Your arms covering your stomach, like, no, don't take a picture of me in my bathing suit. If only we could just enjoy ourselves, That'd be great. I'm glad you took all the pictures, though, and I'm glad you have.
Yes.
My my worst camping memory was the big storm. You remember that? I I screamed. I was screaming in my little tent, like screaming, okay, because it was a storm and it was windy, and we're in tents. I mean, we're tent camping, okay? Little bitty old tent. Royal, she knows, and I'm going, I don't want to die.
That's exactly what she said. That's exactly what she said. And we're like in little army tents. I mean, we weren't in very big tents. Like, she's right. We were like two little kids, and the tents were like if you rolled, you touched the sides. It was not fun to sleep in.
Yes.
But literally, Max is in the tent was screaming and like freaking out, and she, I don't want to die. And my mom was like, okay, come to the tent. So anyway, they all ended up, they're like, are you okay, Ron? I was like, yeah, I'm good. I did not want to be in the tent with everybody. I was like, I'd rather drown in my tent than be with everybody else, because that's the type of personality that I am.
You're like, no, I will die.
Oh my god. Rather drown in my tent than to be with people.
She apparently
It's too crowded over there already. I'm good.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was. Well, but they bigger tent. I ended up between her and her husband. Her husband was my favorite person, but I ended up between her and her husband. And it was when I woke up in the morning, every inch around us was wet, like on our backs. And I remember waking up, like I was laying down, but I had folded my legs up like, crisscross applesauce. And to this day, when I fall asleep like that, that's what I think about, is that night in the tent when I almost died.
Oh, Max.
That was the worst
She's
in
not
storms. You
dramatic.
remember when we were downtown and there were lawn chairs blowing into the pool, and I said the same, I don't want to die!
Max was sure she was going to die in a storm. She was just, she knew it was going to happen.
Oh my God.
Every time a storm happened and she was around it, she was going to go.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to be here. She doesn't do well with weather.
I didn't. I did, oddly enough. Yeah, no, no way. No way. That is so funny. It's like, tell me you have anxiety without telling me you have anxiety.
Yeah.
It all makes sense now.
Oh my goodness.
That is hilarious. It's a great idea bringing her on. That
I
is
felt
so
like you
great.
needed it.
That is so. Well, thank you. Thank you. No, so much. And you get to kind of go down memory lane with us, like and about the weather, right? Ironically enough, we come around to the weather. So let me go ahead and ask you, ladies, how's the weather over there? We've got some down power lines. It's good. I would have been going, I don't want to die. It's not
That's too funny. Yeah, there's a whole tree down 2 houses up from us, and that's what ripped the power lines down, was the tree came down. So I'm curious as to what knocked the trees down at your side, but
Oh my goodness.
yeah,
it rained real good.
It's
over here,
exact-
but-
every road I go down, there's trees down.
Yeah. It's exactly the tree I expected. There's a tree that it's been growing an epiphyte for as long as I've been there, and I've watched that thing grow up and up and up. And I've realized recently that the tree itself it's all but dead. There's still some green leaves on it at the top, but all the branches that have broken off, there's hollow. It's hollow. It's a hollow tree. And I contacted the Lake Electric, and they opened up a work order for that tree to come down, but I've never heard anything about them. And I have kept saying power lines are going to get ripped out until they fix this tree. And that's exactly what it was. I'll have to send you the picture that
Oh,
my
wow.
ex sent me. Yeah, yeah, a little something, something. So how is the emotional weather with you ladies?
Yeah, Royal. How's the weather with you, ma'am?
Do tell.
It's been
I
good.
feel like the sun's shining on her side of the world.
Just hello me.
I know. My therapist called me a blushing bride the other day because I was like giggling because, she's like, "So what's new with you?" And I was like, it's like I'm married. She was like, "Oh my gosh, you're a blushing bride." Like, apparently so. Apparently that's what I'm doing. So, didn't know. But
That is
it's been good though, like it's been a good team, effort and good like balance. Like, I've been able to take care of like my normal like self things like showering every day and things that you tend to neglect when you're doing things literally all
I'll
by
be damned.
yourself. Like,
That's awesome.
I mean, it sounds like whatever, but it's like you're getting me a shower. Like, no,
It's
sometimes
like
I'm
living
too
life
exhausted,
luxury.
okay? So, yeah, so that's been nice to be able to shower every day. That's been really good. And, like, this is
I'm
a
sure
little
your
thing.
husband appreciates that too.
Huh?
I'm sure your husband appreciates that too.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah.
It's like
Oh my,
weren't the vows in for better, for worse, for stinky or not? Like, come on, he's got to deal with it, stinky or not.
That's right. I was
yeah.
a
There's no
swamp creature
promise of
before
a
you
shower,
married
but
me.
by golly, if you work this out so I can have one.
Yes. I
Yeah.
guess that's where the
I
is
love
that
it.
where the term shower comes from?
Ooh.
So squeaky
I love
clean.
it.
Squeaky clean.
I love it.
But no, yeah, it's been
Squeaky
Well,
good over
I'm
here.
thrilled
clean.
for
And
you, Royal.
thank you. Thank you. The house is coming together. He's helping me like
How's
rearrange and get,
Benson?
all that good stuff. So, and Benson's doing great too with it.
How's Benson handling it?
He's been doing really good with it, and both maybe a little jealous, because he wants to marry mommy too. Like, I mean, and it's funny because he has asked me a few times, like within the last year, like, "Mommy, will you marry me?" Or, "Mom, will you marry me?" And I'm like, and he's so sweet and cute, and I tell him, I say, "I love you and I will love you forever." And I said, "But mommy cannot marry you, but I will always love you and I will be here for you for as long as I can be here for you." And that's always my answer to him. It's like, because I want him to know that my heart is always for him. I don't have to marry him for that to happen. I'll always be his, in a way, but that, I cannot marry him, and that he would. And I also tell him that he will make a wonderful husband someday. So
Oh,
yeah, so
he's a sweet boy.
yeah. But him and George, they are connecting really well. George took him to the park a few times and, let him run around, and they're best buddies, and they're just learning each other's languages, and Vincent and George has worked with mental health patients before, with family members. He's like done that. So he's very familiar with with different techniques and, whatever. So it's been going really good because I don't have to teach him anything. He just does what he knows to do with
Yeah.
him because he knows what to do. So it's been a
Yes.
smooth transition.
That's
Well,
nice.
you said mental health, but is that also disabilities? Like he worked with people with disabilities too, right? Not just mental health.
Correct. Like, well, yes, yeah. I think it was a little both, but yeah, it was autistic patients and, different disabilities. Yes, he worked with he transported different clinics and stuff like that. But he got all the trainings necessary to be able to work with the patient. So that way he would know how to calm patients down in the event that a crisis would occur. Because sometimes, like if you don't know how to handle those type of crisis, it can be panicking, and it's scary and to not know what to do, like all of a sudden this kid or even an adult, in his case at the time, an adult, when they're having in the middle of a meltdown, they're not really there. And not that, and that's really for any child and any person. Like when you're in the middle of a meltdown, like your brain shuts off in a lot of areas, so but even more so I feel like, for Benson, because he already struggles with control in that. So, but George has been really good about helping him gain that control. He got teased at the park, and George was able to help him control himself where he wasn't mean to the kids, and he was able to play with the kids in the end. Like, it's just been really good.
Nice.
That sounds like a dream come true.
He's a real partner.
Yeah. No, it's good.
Yeah. Like a fairy tale. Like a little autistic fairy tale.
I know, I can't tell you the number of times I've cried in the last couple of months, just like with everything. It's just crazy. But, it's like, it's been good. It's just been good.
I think there's a song. I'm walking on sunshine. Whoa.
That's my walk-up song.
I love that. I love
that.
My favorite song. It will flip my mood in an instant when I hear that song. Love that song.
It's a very lifting
It's
song.
a dancey one. You know what I mean? It's like, yes. That's so fantastic. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm just thrilled to death about that. And Benson loving it. And his kids, are they settling in? Are they doing all right? Are they liking it too?
Yeah, they're doing good. They're settling in. It's an adjustment because their house was a lot bigger than my house. So their rooms are a bit smaller. But, his daughter likes that the room was already pink. So I didn't have to make any changes there. So that was kind of cool. And I told them they can paint whatever color they want in their room. So, yeah, at some point we're going to worry about all that, once we get more settled. But, we're just... and then of course at some point we're going to, we're talking about remodeling the house so we can add on some rooms for the large family that have accumulated ourselves into here. So.
Yeah, you sort of doubled in size there just about. I mean, you got some space. Now, have all the kids been able to meet? Was Trinity able to come for the wedding? Did Lizzie show up at all?
No, I mean, nobody, like, only people that were there, because, Nicole married us, and then his kids were there. His son helped him move a bed, because Nicole took my twin bed, because, I was sleeping on a twin bed in my room, and, of course, that doesn't work when you're married.
I saw that. Joey and I made it work with our fat asses.
It can be real cozy.
Yeah. You have to be a cooler.
A little cozier than probably what we would have wanted, I think. So, this is real comfortable. Yeah. So, but yeah. But we literally, we came home, we changed our clothes, we went to Nicole's, they took the bed upstairs, they put the bed together, we stood in Nicole's living room, she married us, they took pictures, and then we left. It was like, took care of business.
We're done with that now, right? We can move on with life. That is so
We had a
great.
cat in the window going meow meow.
Little did you know he was the real officiant.
Yes,
That's right.
he made the cat made it official.
Oh, I love it.
That's so
That's right.
fun. Well, I'm glad if out of everybody who showed up, nobody protested the wedding, right? So that's a good sign.
I figured we were doing pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, well, that
I
sounds like
love it.
a dream come true. I love it, love it, love it. How long was he? How long did his training take for being able to work with disabled persons?
I don't know.
Like, how long was he in that?
I don't
He's your
know.
husband. You don't know nothing about
I
him.
don't remember all those details. He did it for a while. Like, you're asking too many questions.
Too many.
He did it for a long time.
I'll give you a
Like
little
he had his okay, so like his stepdad who owned clinics. And so he was working with the patients at the clinics at one point, and so he got training done so that way he could know how to handle certain situations in a safe manner, how to, because sometimes when, especially when aggression happens, you have to safely hold them, in some way. You have to, sometimes hold them. And there's different ways and different techniques that you can do so that way both parties and people around you are safe. And so he learned how to do all those things,
Yeah.
and he learned different calming techniques, like verbal techniques, and like, physical, like whatever it looks like for each, because every individual is different, right? Like sometimes for Benson it's like screaming, like he just needs to scream and let it out, and George recognized that right away, and he's like, go ahead, roll down the window and scream. And Benson was just screaming out the window, and then he just goes, after it was done. You could just tell it was just like relieving for him to let it out. And I was like, this is great. Like, just let him do, like, this is fine. Like, whatever, and I'm sitting in the back seat, like, cool. And me and Ray are hanging out. They're up front having boy time. Like, it was good, So, yeah, I don't know how long anything took him, but I know he worked with patients for a while. And then he said he had that he merged from like that to doing transporting, where he would like drive the patients, I guess, from like the clinic into like different places, maybe whether it be like a store or another clinic or doctor's appointments or whatever that looked like.
Sounds like somebody with a perfect background to come into your family. It's like God was like, just led the way for you both to meet each other and gave you exactly what you needed, exactly the kind of man who could take on that hardship that you've just been saddling with, for your since. Well, really, Lizzie gave you a hard time too. She was definitely her own challenge, but when Benson came along, and and I feel like God really put you in a position for that too, because that was around the time that the early childhood development programs, you had in-home therapies coming in, like right when Benson was born. So, not to say that the Lord hasn't always given you what you needed for him. He really has, but my
Yeah, more
gosh,
than
what
I
a beautiful,
realized.
beautiful blessing.
Yeah. I've always,
Yeah.
it's always been more than I never knew. I never realized really what I needed, especially back then. Like, because I never really saw myself, and I don't think, and I had trouble seeing myself or even those around me, and I don't know why. Like, I mean, it was probably maybe it's a trauma response, and then I just was still in a fog from years of that, I don't know. But, when you start like seeing yourself and you start seeing the people around you, you transform, it's different. You change your point of view,
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes. Well, that was one of the things that came up in our podcast last week. I don't know if you had a chance to watch it, Royal. I don't know if you're a storm writer. Um, but our podcast, April, she gets it. But our podcast last week, you inspired part of the conversation actually, because that comment that you had made about you see things differently when you've put in the work. And I don't remember specifically what we were talking about, but it morphed into this conversation about how we can, it's so much easier to have extra grace for others or even yourself and see things for, maybe what they are, or recognizing that things are harder than what we would like them to be. Like once you put in the work of transformation, or that you've gone through a transformation, your perspective is just totally different from, just like things being easy and always handed to you and always never a challenge. Um, Challenges are a part of the refiner's fire.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. Yeah, well, and I tell people, I say, for me, it was years of therapy and Jesus. There's nothing else. Like, there's nothing else I can contribute to, like, and especially Jesus, because I feel like once I um started seeking the Lord and running after the Lord full time, then it transformed my thinking, it transformed my sight, like it in my inner workings, like it really did. And in a way that I never imagined changing my mind about a lot of point of views, just because, I do love people, but there's also points of views that I have that where I might disagree with some people, and that's okay, but it doesn't make me love them less. And I had to learn that, and I think, and God is a lot of the same way. Jesus is a lot of the same way. Like, he doesn't love them less. He loves them, despite, but transforming yourself, transforming your thinking, repenting those things, living your life for God, man, it really made a difference, and it made a difference in finding a husband too, because, when I started seeking someone that was seeking the same type of lifestyle, the same type of mindset, who wanted to seek God with me and not just party or drink, or, you know what I mean? Like, because it's hard to find people who aren't going to the bar to hang out every weekend or every other weekend or whatever it is. And, I did that for a little while, and I embarrassed myself a couple of enough times. I'm good. That's just I'm okay.
I'm done being a dumbass.
It's not a lifestyle for me. I'm good, so yeah, no. And then, seeking Jesus, it was like that's where I'm gonna find, like, my peace, my comfort, and it has really, I have, so it's just been good. And not only for me, but, for my home. I mean, honestly, it's helped me change my thinking and how I handle things in my home. When I had to make my daughter leave, I didn't like that decision. I still don't like that decision, but I know that it's best for my home. It just is, and it has been. But
Yeah.
it's unfortunate. It is unfortunate, and I miss her.
It's, yeah. Yeah. Well, and it's sort of a strange worldly rhetoric that says in order to love somebody, you have to be boundaryless, or you have to let go of your own standards, or you have to always side with and affirm that the person is right or correct or whatever. Like it's a very strange narrative, but no, you're absolutely right. I mean, it's like, and it's not like constantly trying to seize control. And one of the things that I guess I've noticed when you talked about like the peace that comes into your home once you surrender to Jesus is a relinquishing of control. Like you stop spinning your wheels trying to to make everything happen the way you want it to happen. And instead you say, all right, I'm not really in control here, and I trust you, God, and I'll stay, let go. I'll do the thing that you need me to, I'll be patient in this. I'll wait for you to show up to the moment instead of me controlling it. And that's a huge difference in repentance. That was the biggest difference for me is I stopped. Well, and part of it was like I would stop controlling, try to control things, but also I would stop trying to manipulate my own self to fit other people's desires of what they wanted me to be. I would just like accept myself and stop trying to control all of this in myself other than like surrendering to no longer sin or like the transformation part. It's like the part that I can control is who I am and my choices, but I can't control how other people perceive me. I can't control what they think I'm doing or why they think I'm doing it. It's you're like, well, I'm sorry. If you don't understand me, then you don't understand me. But once you're along on this journey, you'll understand me, and you just kind of have to accept that. I feel like it's like we've all had our coming to Jesus moments there. April, when did you give your life? Like, were you at a certain age, or did you just like grow up like knowing Jesus? Like, what was your coming to Jesus moment?
It's interesting because I remember being a child, walking through the woods, talking with God. So I don't know when that started. It's just like I just remember being little and walking in the woods and having conversations. But I know that there was a time in my teens when I wasn't living for God and I had stopped having conversations with God. And so when I was 22, it was January, maybe February of 96, when I, as a grown person, adult, did a rededication and wanted to say, for the people who knew me at that time, like they knew what I was doing on the weekends and in the evenings, and it was not becoming of anybody. And I said I was ready to stop living for me and start living for Jesus again. And so that would have been January, February of 96. And then, and I remember it was 96 because that was the same year that Carl and I got married. So, but it was the beginning of the
Oh, I
year.
love
And it was
that.
at the church that I started going to with him. He was already going there and I had started going there in January. So it would have been within a few months of that. But yeah,
Okay.
and that was the beginning of the adult conversations with the Lord as opposed to the childlike ones. They're
Yeah.
very similar though. The
Yeah.
problems are bigger, but the conversations are very similar. Still
Yeah.
in awe of him,
I
greatly in
think that
awe of him.
comes I think that comes especially the longer that you truly walk with him, your humility becomes bigger. Like when you really get into the relationship with God and like trying to discover his character and saying, who are you? Like the prayers shift in some way, but it's still just like this intense inquisitiveness about who he is and who we are in light of him. Like it's still that. And so like coming to the Lord, like you said, they always feel childlike because when we're up against God, Even if you're not picturing him in the throne room, or even if he is, you're thinking of him as, the soft-faced Jesus brother, it's like no matter what, there's still this element of humility that you're constantly coming into if your prayers are genuine, if you're postured correctly toward Christ, then that's when it's like you realize just how childlike faith really is.
Absolutely.
I was baptized at 13. And I never got like rebaptized, but it was about 10 years ago, right before my mom died, before our mom died, that I sort of had this like moment. Like I hated my job. I didn't understand. I felt out of place. And I posted some of that today, even. It was so funny because that like then and now picture came up of my old office. And I did not realize, I mean, I guess I had started that job almost 3 years to the day when my mom died. I mean, that's because, I mean, I'm sure I took that picture the week I started, because that desk it wasn't even like decorated with all my stuff yet. And I had pictures and everything in my office the week I moved into it. So it's weird, kind of weird how that timing worked out. But I was just in this place where I was just like, I don't understand. And of course, I was a part of a progressive church. And so there was a lot of preaching about, oh, love and community and da 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 da, which is great, but it does not posture you before Christ as I am a sinner and I need a savior. Like that's one of the things that progressivism just sort of throws out the window. It just allows you to be you, and oh, but Jesus loves you. Yeah, that's why he's asking you to repent, because when you don't, you're headed for hell. So he loves you enough to tell you that, and he loves you enough to die for that. And coming into that position, like away from progressive Christianity, where I was able to embrace let go of this idea that, oh, I'm really good at heart, or my nature is really good. It wasn't. It was sloppy. It was nasty. I did not possess the fruits of the spirit: patience, kindness, humility, self-control, love, joy, peace. There was none of that. I had turmoil. I had ache. I was confused all the time, and I was hypocritical, and I was angry, and there was just all this in my life, and I couldn't, I didn't know. I was like, what? God, I don't understand. I love you, and I've known you my whole life. Why does my life look like this? And then I came into this position where I was like really questioning. Like that it was like maybe a night. It wasn't a very long time. It was like an evening of, God, do you even exist? Because I started really digging into my faith of like, where does this even come from? Or how do I even know scripture or interpret it? And I was coming across material that I really hadn't been exposed to before that contradicted or challenged my faith. And I was like, well, what is this? Do I just believe in trash? Am I just, regurgitating crap that, I always trusted it because it came from one of the most intelligent men I knew, which is my father. And when I went into my room and I laid down and I covered my eyes and I said, God, you have to be real. There's no way you're not real. You have to be real. And I just felt this black hole open up in my chest. And I said, there's no way anybody in this world can get by without the hope of you. And I guess I probably said, if you're real, reveal yourself to me or something. And I immediately had this sense of just heavy peace fill the room. And it didn't emanate from me. And I felt like he just said, ask, ask about me. And so that was when I really started digging into my faith. Like I really wanted to understand and have a reason for my faith. That was when I got ushered into one, I was tuning into Moody Radio a lot because I didn't really have a solid church. Like I had a church, but it was progressive Christianity. They couldn't answer these types of questions that I had. So I started really digging into it. That was when I really got into apologetics, and There were so many, and there were, honestly, it took a while to get to the apologetics round to realize that there was this whole field of study that allowed me to be bolstered in understanding my faith, both historically and theologically. But it was, it was a very, I mean, I'm talking, I was, 15, 16 years of having popcorn, I guess, popcorn Christianity in my life before I really dug down and put my heels in and said, what is my faith? What is it about? And then that was when my transformation happened, that metanoia, that changing one's mind and going to that place where I said, okay, I'm going to believe and obey God even if it doesn't feel good, even if I don't like it, because I trust that what He says is right and good. So I guess that's a little bit of my testimony since we're sharing them.
I
Really
think we
emotional.
lost Royal.
I know we were boring her. I'm sure she had to tend to one of the kids or something.
No, it looked like her phone took off running.
It's just she's escaping her own house there.
Oh,
That hopefully she gets back in. We're still recording though, right?
yes. Yeah.
Okay.
We're at about
Good.
42 minutes of the second round. And we
Yay.
had between 15 and 20 on the first round.
Okay. I know you'll work your magic and piece it together beautifully. I believe in you.
Right.
You do
Here,
good.
as long as it downloads well, and I'm really hoping that all of the cop noise in the background doesn't overwhelm. I've been
Cop
hearing
noise? I don't
sirens for the.
Okay.
Oh, there's
I
been
didn't hear it.
sirens going on. Oh, good.
That's fine.
Hopefully it's just my ears and it's not the recording.
Are you getting a little bit of an audience at all there at the restaurant? People looking at you? They're trying to pay attention.
Fun thing going on this week is I had 2 people reach out to schedule weddings. So I will be officiating a wedding tomorrow after work. And then the other one will be in November, the week before my mother's wedding.
Oh.
So yeah. She's at least planning ahead. These folks didn't plan ahead. They're like, hey, are you available Friday? And I was like, wait, today's Monday. Yeah.
That is great. What is it?
So
All kinds of people
yeah.
just hop up and getting married out of the blue, huh? That's awesome. And that was 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, are you officiating your mom's?
Yes. Yes. So I'll
Okay.
be officiating my mom's. Yep. So that'll be 2 weddings. One on a Sunday and then the following Saturday. Because the one is my friend. I used to work with her, and she reached out and she's like, "Are you still doing that?" And I was like, "Yes." And she was like, "Yay!" And so it's the Sunday before my mom gets married, which will be on a Saturday. Those will both be in November. And then the couple getting married tomorrow, it turns out that he was best friends with one of my coworkers back in high school. And that coworker, I officiated his wedding 2 years ago. So it's an interesting one. But this guy reached
So
out.
is that how
not
you got it?
knowing.
Word of mouth?
Nope. As a matter of fact, they haven't talked to each other in at least a decade. So yeah.
Oh, how fun.
It's going to be funny because I'll probably mention it. I'll be like, "You remember so-and-so? Yeah, I officiated his wedding too."
That's
But yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
You need to put, it's summertime. You need to put something out on your social media about Snow Confidential.
I know, but then where am I going to fit that 15 minutes in? I'm already,
Yeah. Yeah.
I
No,
still have to do my 15 minutes for today because today got away from me. So I'll probably do it before bed tonight. But I do
I
have
believe.
45 minutes done.
Good job. A good solid 45 minutes. Like you like the progress that it's making. Does it feel good to do it?
Yeah. Uh, I know like one of them, 5 of the minutes I sat there going, oh, I don't know what to do. Like the first one was writing down what you had texted and putting it on paper and then evaluating, giving myself like what do I want my story to tell? And it ended up taking about the whole 15 minutes just to put that. And then the second day it kind of flew and it was like because I am handwriting and not typing.
Yeah.
I've got
Which is good.
an empty notebook.
Okay.
And so that empty notebook is where I'm doing this activity at to so that way it's just all in one place and see where it goes, see how it unfolds. But yeah, so it's funny how one day it seems to be very purposeful and then the next day it's like I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
But I am actively putting pen to paper and moving forward. So that'll be fun to see how that comes together.
Good.
And
Well,
it's funny
and that, go ahead.
because Carrie, she did the wrap up of this past week's, and then she texted and she was like, "Oh, and have you started your 15?" And I was like, "Oh no, now I got somebody else on me, making sure I'll stick to it."
She's a good one. She's a good one. You should keep her. Oh, that is great. Like now you really have to be
Yes.
accountable.
I know, right? And it's funny because she has no idea what we're talking about, but she's like, "But have you done the 15 minutes that Max was talking about?" I was like, "Yes."
Good, good. And it'll get
Oh,
like you really get that muscle going. And I think that's one of the things that having a cue, when you whatever, that cue is that's designated, like the quicker your brain will switch into that mode where you can say, okay, this is a familiar muscle that I'm flexing now. And that right,
right.
and the fact that you're handwriting it is better for you cognitively than if you were to type it.
And I like the way my handwriting looks.
You do have nice handwriting.
So
Yeah.
I do enjoy the act of writing a lot. I really do.
Good.
There are times when I'm like, okay, I got it. No, I like work stuff, filling out forms. I don't want to do that by hand. I'll type those all day long. But I do, for the most part, enjoy just putting a pen to a piece of paper and hearing that scratch and watching the flow. I do enjoy
Yeah.
it.
Ah, that's funny.
Just for
Yes.
another minute. Just for another minute. Just for
Just
another
one
minute.
more minute. We can get 50 out of this. I know we can out of the second session. Well,
But
thank you, sister, so much. And you know what? Since we did not open in prayer, let us close.
yes,
Let us close. I'll close us in prayer. How about that?
yes,
Okay.
please.
All right. Let me do that. Awesome, Father. Thank you so much for the weather. Stormy, sunny, snow, whatever it is you got for us. Thank you for giving us the strength to endure it. Thank you for giving us laughter to get through it. Thank you for giving us each other to ride those out. And Lord, please protect everybody in all of this rain and all of this power outage. Please make sure everybody is supplied with every need. And Father, thank you so much for our faith. Thank you so much for ways that we can know truth. Thank you for the ways that we can know you, that we can bring our testimony, that we can share it with one another and express the fruitfulness that comes from knowing you. Thank you, Father. And thank you for this day. Thank you for mothers. And in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. All right, my sister, you have a wonderful evening.
You too. And thank you for bringing.
I hope that you felt like you could honor your mom today.
I really did. I really did. And you put the exclamation point on that. And I'm glad Royal was able to pull those out too, because she had some good things with mom. So I get a little bit of my mom through her, and that's nice. And that's very lovely. So thank you. My heart is full.
Take care.
Take care.
Thank you for joining Maxina Sunshine and April Snow on the weekly weather. Like and follow to catch our next conversation.